you can, so I'm going back to the archives, you can actually download your archives under the general settings, and then you can download a copy from your data. It will then lead you to this page, the Start My Archive, where the archive will be downloaded into your email, and you'll be able to see the email here. So everyone can do that, but you need to log into your Facebook to do that. So the police made me log into my Facebook and my Gmail to download these. The other thing they wanted me to do was also to download from my WordPress some things. So I asked them at that point, why did you want me to download my Facebook archives and things from my WordPress? So they said that they wanted me to do that because they wanted to see the IP addresses. So that was when I thought, okay, so are you trying to see who else is accessing? But in my mind, I've got nothing to hide because no one else has access to my Facebook and blog except me. But on hindsight, it was not a smart decision because on Facebook archives, there were many other things like messages that you have with other people. But thankfully, I have a regular habit of deleting messages because someone told me before I went to a police station that I should have a regular habit of deleting messages. So I managed to delete. Anyway, some of the things I've learned after that is, right after I came out from police station, I actually didn't know what to do. In fact, I felt quite helpless. I was not angry, I was not sad, I didn't know what to feel. I felt violated. That's why I wrote on my Facebook that I felt like I was raped. Because honestly, I felt like my rights were robbed from me. I didn't know what to do. But my first instinct was I needed to communicate with people, so I ran to a computer desktop. And because I had to log into my Facebook and Gmail, I remember that I could change my passwords. So I managed to change my passwords for all the accounts I have. And after that, I got a new SIM card and disabled the chat apps on the phone that the police took. So you can do that for some of your apps. I've also spoken to some people and some organizations, and they told me that I need to keep my chats secure. So this is what I've learned from this episode. So I started using Signal, Telegram. The difference is if you use Signal, it's the best because it's encrypted messaging and it's passcode protected. Telegram is encrypted only for some messages, but it's also passcode protected. WhatsApp is not. WhatsApp is encrypted, but it's not passcode protected. So if the police has your phone, they can access whatever is in your phone. But for those which are passcode protected, you can forget your password because there are so many passwords you have to remember. Yeah. And I guess the other things that I also realized, some of the things that I was told before I went into the police station was to always take down my notes. Someone told me to take down the question that police ask and then to write down my answer before answering the police. So the police will let you do that because as an activist, they're afraid that you will tell them that you were not treated well, tell the public that you're not treated well. So you can do that and you can take your time to do that. And then, what else? Okay. I guess the other thing is I'm sharing with you what I've learned. I think the other thing is I need to have adequate rest because one thing was I didn't rest enough before I went to the interview. So I got very tired halfway through and that's why I also stopped thinking. So, I have to remain alert and that is what I owe to myself the next time. The other thing I was told is I cannot treat the police as my friend. In fact, at one point the police actually started telling me that, time's up for my 15 minutes. So the police started talking to me in quite a friendly way. And I started telling him, yeah, I'm also quite upset with the situation Singapore is in because I'm afraid that it will keep going downhill. Because at the way the government is, socioeconomically, poverty is very high in Singapore, inequality is very high. The government's expenditure on social welfare is very low. And at the same time, the government is persecuting people like us, over the past 1 year, you have seen a lot of cases, defamation, sedition, contempt of court, what happened to the real Singapore, being jailed. If the police decides to charge me for one charge for each article I have, for 14 articles, that means I will be potentially jailed for up to 14 years if they want to do that, as they did with the real Singapore. So I'm not sure if they can do that. So for me, it feels like the way that the government is doing now is they do not want to use the Internal Security Act because that's a very embarrassing thing to do. But would they then want to use crimes like that to come up with an excuse to jail you for as long as they want, so that they have a legitimate excuse to say that they have not incriminated you because of the freedom of speech, as they tried to say at the Universal Periodic Review. So this, for me, is an underhanded way of trying to persecute Singaporeans by using a legitimate mean which they create. And for me, we have to fight back for this case because this is a very clear example of the transgression of the freedom of speech in Singapore. And if we allow this to continue, they will have free hand in future to do what they want as well. Yeah.